VA Special Monthly Compensation. Special Monthly Compensation, SMC, is an additional benefit paid to veterans, their dependents, or survivors with specific circumstances that go beyond the typical disability compensation. It is intended to address severe disabilities or special needs, such as the requirement for aid and attendance, loss of use of body parts, or other qualifying factors. Some key features are: extra compensation. SMC is paid in addition to regular VA disability compensation. Purpose: provide support for significant disabilities or unique circumstances. Eligibility: based on the severity of disability and specific criteria. SMCK. To qualify for SMCK, a veteran must demonstrate loss or loss of use of a specific organ or body part directly related to a service-connected disability. Qualifying conditions: loss or loss of use of a hand or foot. Complete inability to use the limb. Includes paralysis or significant functional impairment. Loss or loss of use of reproductive organs, creative organ. Includes conditions such as erectile dysfunction, ED, or infertility caused by a service-connected disability. For women, this could include loss of ovaries or uterus. Loss of one eye, visual impairment. Vision of 5/200 or less in one eye. Loss of the ability to perceive light in one eye. Deafness in both ears. Total deafness without air and bone conduction. Loss of a breast or both breasts, female veterans. Service-connected mastectomy or related conditions. Ankylosis of joints. Complete immobility or fixation of specific joints, depending on severity and location. Loss of speech. Inability to communicate through speech due to physical damage or nerve impairment. Examples of qualifying scenarios and current SMCK rates. Loss of use of a hand. A veteran with service-connected nerve damage resulting in total paralysis of the right hand qualifies for SMCK. Even though the hand is physically intact, its functional loss meets the requirement. Erectile dysfunction. A veteran with service-connected spinal cord injury resulting in ED qualifies for SMCK for loss of a creative organ. Vision loss. A veteran with an eye injury during service resulting in vision limited to light perception in one eye qualifies for SMCK. Loss of breasts. A female veteran who underwent a bilateral mastectomy due to service-related breast cancer qualifies for SMCK. You will not automatically receive SMCK or any other special monthly compensation. It is something you will need to apply for. You will apply using VA Form 21-526-EZ. I have listed an example here of what you will enter on page 11. Remember, complete the rest of the form in its entirety, to include signature and date. If you need a refresher, refer to my video, How to Complete VA Form 21-526-EZ. SMCQ and current rates. Special Monthly Compensation, SMCQ, is an uncommon and specialized category of VA compensation designed to provide additional financial support to veterans under specific and unique circumstances. Unlike more commonly known SMC levels such as SMCK, loss or loss of use, or SMCS, housebound, SMCQ may not frequently appear in standard claims but is outlined for particular qualifying situations. SMCQ refers to additional compensation benefits for circumstances not covered under other SMC categories. It is typically associated with rare cases where other forms of SMC do not fully address the veteran's needs. The purpose is to address specific, extraordinary conditions or combinations of disabilities that result in unique hardships for the veteran. Typically applies to highly individualized cases requiring VA approval. To qualify for SMCQ, a veteran must meet specific, rare, and extraordinary circumstances related to service-connected disabilities. Possible qualifying factors are: unique combinations of disabilities not fully addressed by other SMC levels. Complex medical needs that go beyond typical SMC categories. Exceptional care requirements due to service-connected conditions. Examples of qualifying scenarios for SMCQ. While SMCQ is less common, here are hypothetical examples that may qualify. Example 1. Unaddressed disabilities. A veteran with severe service-connected neurological conditions resulting in unpredictable and life-threatening seizures may require continuous specialized care not fully covered under other SMC categories. Example 2. Unique care needs. A veteran with multiple amputations and rare complications, example, severe phantom limb pain combined with immune system impairments, may qualify if existing SMC levels, example, R2, do not address the full extent of the veteran's requirements. You will not automatically receive SMCQ or any other special monthly compensation. It is something you will need to apply for. You will apply using VA Form 21-526EZ. I have listed an example here of what you will enter on page 11. Remember, complete the rest of the form in its entirety, to include signature and date. If you need a refresher, refer to my video, How to Complete VA Form 21-526EZ. Special Monthly Compensation, SMCL, is a category of additional VA compensation provided to veterans who have severe service-connected disabilities requiring regular aid and attendance, ANA, or who have lost the use of both hands, both feet, or one hand and one foot. It is one of the most commonly awarded levels of SMC due to its focus on the need for assistance with daily living activities. To qualify for SMCL, a veteran must meet one or more of the following conditions directly related to their service-connected disabilities. Regular aid and attendance, ANA. The veteran requires regular aid and attendance from another person to perform basic activities of daily living. Examples of qualifying needs include inability to dress or undress independently, inability to keep oneself clean and groomed, inability to feed oneself, inability to attend to the wants of nature, e.g., using the restroom, being bedridden due to the severity of the condition, regular supervision to ensure safety, such as for mental health conditions. Here are the current monthly rates for SMCL, regular need for aid and attendance. Veteran alone, no dependents, equals $4,767.34 per month. With spouse, no parents or children, equals $4,980.95 per month. With spouse and one parent, no children, equals $5,152.39 per month. With spouse and two parents, no children, equals $5,323.83 per month. With one parent, no spouse or children, equals $4,938.78 per month. With two parents, no spouse or children, equals $5,110.22 per month. Each dependent child equals $195.92 per month. Examples of qualifying scenarios for SMCL. Example 1. Severe physical disabilities. A veteran with service-connected paraplegia who requires assistance with dressing, bathing, and using the restroom qualifies for SMCL due to the need for regular aid and attendance. Example 2. Loss of use. A veteran with severe nerve damage resulting in complete paralysis of both hands qualifies for SMCL. Example 3. Blindness. A veteran who lost vision in both eyes due to service-connected injuries and can only perceive light qualifies for SMCL. Example 4. Mental health conditions. A veteran with severe PTSD or a traumatic brain injury, TBI, who requires supervision for safety qualifies under the aid and attendance criteria. You will not automatically receive SMCL or any other special monthly compensation. It is something you will need to apply for. You will apply using VA Form 526EZ, and VA Form 21-2680. Section 6 and beyond of VA Form 21-2680 will need to be completed by your doctor. I have listed an example here of what you will enter on page 11 of VA Form 21-526EZ. Remember, complete the rest of the form in its entirety, to include signature and date. If you need a refresher, refer to my video, How to Complete VA Form 21-526EZ. If you need an example of how to complete VA Form 21-2680, that video is coming up right after this one. Special Monthly Compensation, SMCL and a half, is a slightly higher level of compensation than SMCL, awarded to veterans with specific service-connected disabilities requiring regular aid and attendance or severe loss of use of extremities, combined with other qualifying conditions that elevate the need for additional support. It falls between the SMCL and SMCM categories in terms of compensation rate and qualification requirements. To qualify for SMCL and a half, a veteran must meet all criteria for SMCL, along with additional conditions or losses that justify enhanced compensation. This level acknowledges that the veteran's disability results in a greater need for assistance or imposes additional functional limitations. One or more of the following conditions must be present, in addition to the requirements for SMCL, to qualify for SMCL and a half. Additional loss of use, an additional extremity, example, loss of use of a hand in addition to a foot. Severe paralysis, neurological conditions leading to complete immobility or near total functional loss of major body parts. Other disabilities requiring additional support, conditions like advanced organ damage, example, lungs or kidneys, that increase dependency. Current monthly rates for SMCL and a half are: veteran with one child, no spouse or parents, equals $5,156.85. With one child and spouse, no parents, equals $5,384.05. With one child, spouse, and one parent equals $5,555.49. With one child, spouse, and two parents equals $5,726.93. With one child and one parent, no spouse, equals $5,328.29. With one child and two parents, no spouse, equals $5,499.73. Each additional child equals $106.14. Each additional child over age 18 in a qualifying school program equals $342.85. Examples of qualifying scenarios for SMCL and a half. Example 1, additional loss of use. A veteran with service-connected paraplegia, loss of use of both legs, who also loses the use of one hand due to a neurological condition qualifies for SMCL and a half. Example 2, progressive conditions. A veteran with severe service-connected ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, who initially qualified for SMCL due to loss of limb function now also requires assistance with breathing and swallowing. Example 3, combined disabilities. A veteran with loss of use of one leg due to amputation and paralysis affecting both arms qualifies for this enhanced level. Assuming you have already been approved for SMCL, all you should need to do is apply on VA Form 21-526EZ. I have attached an example of what you will enter on page 11. However, if you have not already been approved for SMCL, regular need of aid and attendance, then you will also need to include completed VA Form 21-2680. Submit VA Form 21-526EZ and 21-2680 if applicable, along with any supporting documentation to VA benefits intake either online, through an accredited VSO, or by mail. Special Monthly Compensation, SMCM, is a higher level of VA compensation granted to veterans who suffer from extremely severe service-connected disabilities. These disabilities result in significant loss of function, require substantial assistance for daily living, or involve a combination of conditions that create an exceptional level of disability. To qualify for SMCM, a veteran must meet specific criteria related to the severity of their service-connected conditions. These criteria often build upon those for lower SMC levels, such as SMC-L and SMC-L&1/2, with the addition of one or more of the following: loss or loss of use of both arms at or above the elbows, loss or loss of use of both legs at or above the knees, blindness in both eyes, visual acuity in both eyes of 5/200 or less, additional conditions that elevate the severity of blindness, loss or loss of use of one arm and one leg. Loss must be at or above the elbow, arm, and knee, leg. Other combinations of loss or impairments. This includes multiple losses of extremities or organs that meet the specified threshold for severity. Current monthly rates for SMCM are: veteran with one child, no spouse or parents, equals $5,404.09. With one child and spouse, no parents, equals $5,631.29. With one child, spouse, and one parent equals $5,802.73. With one child, spouse, and two parents equals $5,974.17. With one child and one parent, no spouse, equals $5,575.53. With one child and two parents, no spouse, equals $5,746.97. Each additional child under age 18 equals $106.14. Each additional child over age 18 in a qualifying school program equals $342.85. Examples of qualifying scenarios for SMCM. Example 1. Combined loss of limbs. A veteran with service-connected injuries resulting in the loss of use of both legs above the knees and one arm above the elbow qualifies for SMCM. Example 2. Severe blindness and limb loss. A veteran who is blind in both eyes, 5/200 visual acuity or less, and has lost the use of one arm qualifies for SMCM. Example 3. Dependency due to aid and attendance. A veteran with advanced ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, who cannot perform any ADLs without assistance, qualifies under the aid and attendance criteria. Just as with SMC-L&1/2, if you have not already been approved for SMC-L, regular need of aid and attendance, you will need to complete VA Form 21-2680, along with VA Form 21-526EZ. I have attached an example here on page 11 of how this will need to be completed. Remember, each condition you are filing SMCM for will need to be service-connected or secondary to a service-connected condition. Once complete, submit to VA benefits either online, through an accredited VSO, or by mail. Special Monthly Compensation, SMCM&1/2, is an elevated tier of compensation for veterans whose service-connected disabilities exceed the criteria for SMCM but do not fully meet the requirements for SMCN. It provides financial support for veterans with severe and combined disabilities that create an extraordinary need for assistance. SMCM&1/2 builds upon the qualifications for SMCM, requiring the presence of additional, significant disabilities or impairments. These conditions further increase the veteran's dependency and need for care. To move from SMCM to SMCM&1/2, the veteran must demonstrate one or more of the following additional conditions: severe additional loss of use, loss of an additional extremity or body function, example, loss of one hand or foot on top of SMCM criteria. Higher dependency for aid and attendance. The veteran's need for personal assistance has significantly increased due to worsening conditions. Severe neurological impairments, conditions such as quadriplegia, progressive diseases like ALS or MS, or other disabilities that cause near-total immobility. Severe organ dysfunction, service-connected conditions causing irreversible damage to vital organs, example, lungs, kidneys, or heart, that result in dependency on medical devices or intensive care. The currently monthly rates for SMCM and a half are: veteran with one child, no spouse or parents, equals $5,765.85. With one child and spouse, no parents, equals $5,993.05. With one child, spouse, and one parent equals $6,164.49. With one child, spouse, and two parents equals $6,335.93. With one child and one parent, no spouse, equals $5,937.29. With one child and two parents, no spouse, equals $6,108.73. Each additional child equals $106.14. Each additional child over age 18 in a qualifying school program equals $342.85. Examples of qualifying scenarios for SMCM and a half. Example 1, quadriplegic veteran. A veteran who initially qualified for SMCM due to loss of use of both legs above the knees, now also has loss of use of one arm above the elbow. Example 2, combined blindness and limb loss. A veteran with blindness in both eyes, 5/200 visual acuity or less, who also has loss of use of one leg above the knee. Example 3, progressive neurological condition. A veteran with advanced ALS, who cannot use any extremities, and is entirely dependent on others for all activities of daily living. As with SMCs L through M, if you have not already been approved for SMC L, regular need of aid and attendance, you will also need to submit VA Form 21-2680, along with VA Form 21-526EZ. I have attached an example here from page 11 of the form. Remember, all conditions need to be service-connected or secondary to a service-connected condition. Submit the completed Form 21-526EZ and 21-2680, if applicable, with all supporting documents either online, with an accredited VSO, or by mail. Special Monthly Compensation, SMCN, represents one of the highest levels of compensation provided by the Department of Veterans Affairs, VA, to veterans with extraordinary service-connected disabilities. It is reserved for veterans whose conditions cause profound functional impairments or a significant need for aid and attendance. To qualify for SMCN, a veteran must demonstrate service-connected disabilities that meet or exceed the following thresholds: loss of use of multiple limbs, both arms above the elbows and both legs above the knees, and one arm above the elbow and one leg above the knee. Total blindness combined with other disabilities. Blindness in both eyes with no light perception, paired with loss or loss of use of one hand or foot. Need for extraordinary aid and attendance. Veterans whose disabilities create total immobility and necessitate continuous aid and attendance for all daily activities, such as feeding, dressing, bathing, and mobility. Severe neurological disorders or paralysis. Conditions like quadriplegia or advanced progressive diseases, example, ALS or MS, that cause complete loss of limb functionality and dependency on others. The current monthly rates for SMCN are: veteran with one child, no spouse or parents, equals $6,127.91. With one child and spouse, no parents, equals $6,355.11. With one child, spouse, and one parent equals $6,526.55. With one child, spouse, and two parents equals $6,697.99. With one child and one parent, no spouse, equals $6,299.35. With one child and two parents, no spouse, equals $6,470.79. Each additional child equals $106.14. Each additional child over age 18 in a qualifying school program equals $342.85. Examples of qualifying scenarios for SMCN. Example 1. Quadriplegic veteran with blindness. A veteran with complete loss of use of all 4 limbs due to spinal cord injury, who is also blind in both eyes without light perception. Example 2. Severe amputation cases. A veteran with amputation of both arms above the elbows and both legs above the knees. Example 3. Neurological impairments requiring full-time care. A veteran with advanced ALS, who has complete paralysis and cannot perform any daily functions independently. You will file SMCN in the same manner as SMCs L through M.5. I have attached an example on page 11 of VA Form 21-526-EZ. Submit either online, with an accredited VSO, or by mail. Special Monthly Compensation, SMC, Level N.5 is a designation provided by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, VA, to veterans who have experienced specific combinations of severe disabilities. This level acknowledges particularly significant impairments that result in a higher level of overall disability. To qualify for SMCN.5, a veteran must meet one of the following conditions. Amputation and loss of use. 1 elbow amputated and 1 arm amputated close to the shoulder. If a veteran has had 1 elbow amputated and the same arm amputated so close to the shoulder that wearing a prosthesis is not feasible, they may qualify. Loss of use of 1 elbow and 1 arm amputated close to the shoulder. If a veteran has lost the use of 1 elbow and the same arm amputated so close to the shoulder that wearing a prosthesis is not feasible, they may qualify. Blindness and loss of use of 1 foot. Physical loss of both eyes and loss of use of 1 foot. If a veteran has physically lost both eyes and has lost the use of 1 foot, rated less than 50% disabling, they may qualify. Total blindness without ability to perceive light and loss of use of 1 foot. If a veteran has total blindness without the ability to perceive light and has lost the use of 1 foot, rated less than 50% disabling, they may qualify. Total blindness with perception of light in 1 eye. Total blindness with perception of light in 1 eye and physical loss of the other eye. If a veteran has total blindness with only the ability to perceive light in 1 eye and has physically lost the other eye, they may qualify. Total blindness with perception of light in 1 eye and deafness in both ears, rated 30% or more. If a veteran has total blindness with only the ability to perceive light in 1 eye and has deafness in both ears rated at 30% or more disabling, they may qualify. Total blindness with perception of light in 1 eye and loss of use of 1 foot, rated 50% or more. If a veteran has total blindness with only the ability to perceive light in 1 eye and has lost the use of 1 foot rated at 50% or more disabling, they may qualify. The current monthly compensation rates for SMCN.5 are: veteran with 1 child, no spouse or parents, equals $6,479.85. With 1 child and spouse, no parents, equals $6,707.05. With 1 child, spouse, and 1 parent equals $6,878.49. With 1 child, spouse, and 2 parents equals $7,049.93. With 1 child and 1 parent, no spouse, equals $6,651.29. With 1 child and 2 parents, no spouse, equals $6,822.73. Each additional child equals $106.14. Each additional child over age 18 in a qualifying school program equals $342.85. Here are some examples of scenarios that would qualify a veteran for SMCN.5. 1. Amputation and loss of use. A veteran has had the physical amputation of their right arm at the shoulder joint and the loss of use of their left elbow. Because wearing a prosthesis is not feasible due to the location of the amputation and disability. 2. Blindness combined with physical disabilities. A veteran is completely blind in both eyes, unable to perceive light, and has partial paralysis in one leg that results in loss of use, rated at less than 50%. 3. Total blindness with perception of light in one eye. A veteran has total blindness with light perception in one eye and is completely deaf in both ears, rated as at least 30% disabling due to auditory nerve damage. I have attached an example here from page 11 of VA Form 21-526EZ on how to complete on this form. You will apply for SMC N and a half in the same manner in which you would for SMC L through SMC N. If you have not already been approved for SMC L, regular need for aid and attendance, you will also need to submit VA Form 21-2680. Submit all to VA benefits either online, with an accredited VSO, or by mail. SMC Level O. SMC Level O is assigned to veterans with extremely severe disabilities, such as anatomical loss or loss of use of both arms at levels preventing the use of prosthetic appliances, blindness in both eyes, leaving the veteran only able to perceive light, complete paralysis of both lower extremities, along with loss of anal and bladder sphincter control. Other combinations of disabilities that result in a similar level of impairment. SMC Level P. SMC Level P serves as an intermediate or half-step increase between other SMC levels. It is awarded in cases where a veteran's disabilities, while not meeting the full criteria for the next higher level, are still more severe than the current level. For example, if a veteran qualifies for SMC Level M but has additional disabilities that exacerbate their condition, they might be awarded SMC Level P, which provides compensation between levels M and N. The current monthly compensation rates for SMCs O and P are: veteran with one child, no spouse or parents, equals $6,832.66. With one child and spouse, no parents, equals $7,059.86. With one child, spouse, and one parent equals $7,231.30. With one child, spouse, and two parents equals $7,402.74. With one child and one parent, no spouse, equals $7,004.10. With one child and two parents, no spouse, equals $7,175.54. Each additional child equals $106.14. Each additional child over age 18 in a qualifying school program equals $342.85. Here are examples of conditions that might qualify a veteran for special monthly compensation, SMC, O or P. SMC Level O examples. 1. Anatomical loss or loss of use of both arms. A veteran suffers from severe injuries resulting in the amputation of both arms at or above the elbow, making the use of prosthetic devices impossible. 2. Complete paralysis of lower extremities with loss of sphincter control. A veteran has spinal cord injury causing complete paralysis of both legs, loss of bladder and bowel control, and the need for permanent catheterization and other assistance. SMC Level P examples. 1. Intermediate level between SMC N and O. A veteran qualifies for SMC Level N due to loss of both lower limbs, and additional complications such as severe breathing impairments require a ventilator, elevating them to Level P. 2. Severe combination of disabilities. A veteran with total blindness in both eyes, only light perception, and loss of use of one arm is awarded SMCP because the disabilities are more severe than Level O but do not yet qualify for the next tier. I have attached an example here from page 11 of VA Form 21-526EZ on how to complete on this form. You will apply for SMC O or P in the same manner in which you would for SMC L through SMC N. If you have not already been approved for SMC L, regular need for aid and attendance, you will also need to submit VA Form 21-2680. Submit all to VA benefits either online, with an accredited VSO, or by mail. To qualify for SMC R.1, a veteran must meet the following conditions. Qualification for SMC at the OOP level. The veteran must already be entitled to compensation at the SMC-O level or the maximum rate under SMCP. Need for regular aid and attendance. The veteran must require regular aid and attendance due to service-connected disabilities. Care provided by non-professional. The required aid and attendance can be provided by a family member, friend, or other non-professional caregiver. The current monthly rates for SMC R.1 are: veteran with one child, no spouse or parents, equals $9,702.07. With one child and spouse, no parents, equals $9,929.27. With one child, spouse, and one parent equals $10,100.71. With one child, spouse, and two parents equals $10,272.15. With one child and one parent, no spouse, equals $9,873.51. With one child and two parents, no spouse, equals $10,044.95. Each additional child equals $106.14. Each additional child over age 18 in a qualifying school program equals $342.85. Here are examples of conditions and situations that might qualify a veteran for special monthly compensation, SMC, R.1. 1. Spinal cord injury with paralysis. Case example. A veteran with a spinal cord injury causing complete paralysis of both legs and significant impairment of the upper body requires assistance with mobility, feeding, dressing, and toileting. Their caregiver, a family member, provides daily aid and attendance to manage these tasks. 2. Severe neurological condition. Case example. A veteran with advanced multiple sclerosis experiences profound muscle weakness, lack of coordination, and inability to perform activities of daily living, ADLs. They require assistance from a non-professional caregiver for bathing, dressing, and eating. 3. Traumatic brain injury, TBI. Case example. A veteran with a severe TBI suffers from cognitive impairments, memory loss, and difficulty communicating, along with physical limitations. They rely on a spouse or family member for daily care and supervision to ensure safety. I have attached an example here from page 11 of VA Form 21-526EZ on how to complete on this form. You will apply for SMC R.1 in the same manner in which you would for SMC-L through SMCP. If you have not already been approved for SMC-L, regular need for aid and attendance, you will also need to submit VA Form 21-2680. Submit all to VA benefits either online, with an accredited VSO, or by mail. SMC R.2 is awarded to veterans who qualify for SMC at the OOP level. The veteran must already be entitled to compensation at the SMC-O level or the maximum rate under SMCP. Require a higher level of aid and attendance. The veteran's service-connected disabilities necessitate daily healthcare services provided by a licensed professional, such as a registered nurse, licensed practical nurse, or equivalent skilled medical professional. Need for professional medical care. The required care must be provided by a licensed health professional, indicating the need for medical expertise beyond what a non-professional caregiver can offer. SMCT is a specialized level of compensation for veterans suffering from severe traumatic brain injury, TBI. To qualify for SMCT, a veteran must have a service-connected TBI. The veteran must have a TBI that is service-connected. Require aid and attendance. The veteran must need regular aid and attendance due to the residual effects of the TBI. Not be eligible for higher SMC levels. The veteran does not qualify for higher levels of SMC based on other criteria. The current monthly compensation rates for SMC are R.2 and TR. Veteran with one child, no spouse or parents, equals $11,107.51. With one child and spouse, no parents, equals $11,334.71. With one child, spouse, and one parent equals $11,506.15. With one child, spouse, and two parents equals $11,677.59. With one child and one parent, no spouse, equals $11,278.95. With one child and two parents, no spouse, equals $11,450.39. Each additional child equals $106.14. Each additional child over age 18 in a qualifying school program equals $342.85. Here are examples of conditions and scenarios that might qualify a veteran for Special Monthly Compensation, SMC, R.2 or SMCT. SMC R.2, examples of qualification. 1. Spinal cord injury with severe complications. Case example. A veteran with complete quadriplegia, paralysis of all four limbs, requires daily medical care from a licensed nurse to manage a ventilator, prevent infections, and handle bowel and bladder issues. 2. Amputation and medical complexity. Case example. A veteran with multiple amputations, e.g., both arms and legs, develops complications requiring skilled medical care, such as managing prosthetic devices, addressing skin breakdown, and providing wound care. SMCT, examples of qualification. 1. Traumatic brain injury with cognitive and physical disabilities. Case example. A veteran sustains a severe TBI leading to cognitive deficits, including memory loss and difficulty understanding language, combined with physical impairments such as partial paralysis. They require aid and attendance due to residual effects directly linked to the TBI. 2. TBI with epileptic episodes. Case example. A veteran with a TBI experiences frequent seizures, impairing their ability to function independently. A caregiver provides constant monitoring and ensures timely medical interventions. I have attached an example here from page 11 of VA Form 21-526EZ on how to complete on this form. You will apply for SMC R.2 or T in the same manner in which you would for SMC L through SMC R.1. If you have not already been approved for SMC L, regular need for aid and attendance, you will also need to submit VA Form 21-2680. Submit all to VA benefits either online, with an accredited VSO, or by mail. To qualify for SMCS, a veteran must meet one of the following conditions. 1. Housebound due to service-connected disabilities. The veteran has a single service-connected disability rated at 100% total. The veteran is substantially confined to their immediate premises, home or care facility, due to service-connected disabilities. The confinement must be permanent. 2. A 100% disability with additional disabilities. The veteran has a single service-connected disability rated at 100%. The veteran has one or more additional service-connected disabilities independently rated at 60% or more, and these disabilities are unrelated to the primary 100% disability. The current monthly rates are: veteran with one child, no spouse or parents, equals $4,431.30. With one child and spouse, no parents, equals $4,658.50. With one child, spouse, and one parent equals $4,829.94. With one child, spouse, and two parents equals $5,001.38. With one child and one parent, no spouse, equals $4,602.74. With one child and two parents, no spouse, equals $4,774.18. Each additional child equals $106.14. Each additional child over age 18 in a qualifying school program equals $342.85. Some examples of SMCS, housebound, qualification are 1. Single 100% disability and housebound status. A veteran is rated at 100% for post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and cannot leave their home due to the severity of their condition. 2. Combined disabilities meeting 100% and 60% rule. A veteran is rated at 100% for lung cancer and also has a 60% rating for diabetes, with complications. These conditions are independent of each other. 3. Physical confinement. A veteran with a 100% rating for spinal cord injury is confined to their home due to paralysis, requiring full-time use of a wheelchair. 4. Blindness. A veteran rated at 100% for blindness in both eyes without light perception qualifies if they cannot navigate beyond their premises. I have attached an example here from page 11 of VA Form 21-526EZ on how to complete on this form. You will apply for SMCS in the same manner in which you would for SMCL through SMCT. If you have not already been approved for SMCL, regular need for aid and attendance, you will also need to submit VA Form 21-2680. Submit all to VA benefits either online, with an accredited VSO, or by mail. Here's a recap of the VA Special Monthly Compensation, SMC, program, including its purpose, eligibility, levels, and examples. Key eligibility requirements. Service-connected disabilities. The veteran must have disabilities directly connected to their military service. Severity or special circumstances. The disability must meet specific criteria, such as loss of use of limbs, blindness, or the need for daily aid and attendance. Medical evidence. Claims must include detailed medical records and VA disability ratings. Primary SMCs are SMCK, loss or loss of use. Compensation for loss or loss of use of a specific body part or function, example, hand, foot, reproductive organ. Example, amputation of one leg below the knee. SMCL, aid and attendance. Awarded when a veteran requires assistance with daily activities due to service-connected disabilities. Example, a veteran with severe PTSD who needs help managing personal hygiene and meals. SMCS, housebound. For veterans confined to their home due to service-connected disabilities or with one 100% rated disability plus an unrelated 60% rating. Example, a veteran rated 100% for cancer and 60% for severe arthritis. SMCN/O, severe disabilities. For catastrophic conditions, such as loss of both legs or blindness in both eyes. Example, a veteran with bilateral amputations above the knee. SMCR.1, non-professional aid and attendance. For veterans needing regular aid provided by a non-professional caregiver, example, a family member. Example, a veteran paralyzed from the waist down, cared for by their spouse. SMCR.2, professional aid and attendance. For veterans requiring daily medical care from a licensed health professional. Example, a veteran with quadriplegia needing ventilator management by a nurse. SMCT, traumatic brain injury, TBI. For veterans with TBI requiring regular aid and attendance due to residual effects of the injury. Example, a veteran with severe cognitive and mobility impairments caused by TBI.